Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Berger?
Unmuted.
Here. Mr. Corey?
Here.
Mr. Cronin?
Here.
Mr. Prentice? Here. Mr. Lucido?
Here.
Here. Mr. Kisco?
Here.
Mr. Knight? Here. Mr. Putnam?
Here.
Mr. Bono representative? Ms. Ferguson? Here. Ms. Klimaszewski?
Here.
Mr. Pagola?
Here.
Mr. Petrozelli?
Yes.
Ms. Schulte? Here. Ms. Beans? Here. Mr. Wilson?
Here. Great. Recognitions. Dr. Buchanan, if you wouldn't mind, come on up with Ms. Goodwin.
Good evening. We're incredibly excited tonight. I am Dr. Buchanan, Principal of Southwest School. This is Lindsay Goodwin. She's our Student Services Supervisor for Vogel and Southwest. And tonight is the first public performance of our Drumming Dragons. We are only in our second year of doing this program. Some of these students, it is their maybe third time drumming with us because we have a new rotation that came into the program as well. This is our adaptive music class. So they meet once a week, and we're very, very excited because they got to pick the song that they really love and wanted to play. So it's a little crazy song, but they love it, and that's what we go for. Michelle Castellano, please raise your hand. She is our music teacher who is leading this. In the back, Mr. Mann, he is our teacher in our DLC program. Far over here, Mrs. Godbout, if you can just raise your hand, Mrs. Godbout, but JJ's hugging her. So, she is our teacher in our Voices program, and you can see our amazing staff members. Some of our students do have some one-to-ones. I'm going to point you out, Trish. I'm so sorry because she's not going to be happy about this, but Trish Lancombe designed our Drumming Dragon logos and formed an assembly line so all these t-shirts could be made for our performances. So we're very excited about that, and I want you to talk about the parents.
I just want to say thank you again to our staff for showing up tonight, our paras, our teachers, but also a shout out to our parents because our students wouldn't be here today without you guys bringing them, and that your partnership with our teachers and with our school is what makes this program so successful and really what makes our progress so successful throughout the year. So thank you guys.
So Laura, our director here, thank you for funding this. We've reached out to her a little over 2 years ago and said we want to try something new. And it was like, what is that? I said, well, it's kind of cardio drumming, but not really. There's no cardio involved. We're just going to do the drumming piece. And it's been a hit. And they played at assemblies, but this is their first public appearance. So without further ado, the Drumming Dragons.
Ding 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 dong, ba 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 bom bom ba 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 bom.
What's going on?
Ding ding. Crazy.
Certificates from the Board of Education. This is our superintendent, Mr. Wilson. You've seen him in our building. So now you're all gonna get your certificates.
Awesome job.
Right. So, Mr. Jonah, hand it here. Jonah, put it back there. Miss Otoria, I saw that beautiful smile. Thank you,
Awesome job.
Steve. Here we go, Chase. Here's my rock star. Awesome. Gabrielle couldn't make it. We will get your birthday gift tomorrow when you come visit. How's that? Garrett, here we go. Yes, Garrett. Peter. Also, there's you over there. Also, it's like I knew you were coming. Mr. Gutierrez, Christopher, come on up. Balin, congratulations. Want to bring it to Jimmy? Here you go, Jimmy. All right, Jason. He's going to be a rock star band
Nice.
today. Miss Bree Lopez, where's Miss Bree? Oh, all right. Here we go, my dear. She's never scared. She wanted Dr. B to work. Here we go, sir. Thank you. I didn't see you.
Dr. B's working.
Oh, Leslie, we would not forget you. Yes. JJ. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, drum and dragon, show that smile. Try to get the more behind us.
Thank you. Great job, everybody. Wonderful. Great job. Mr. Scott, we're going to go out of order and continue with the recognitions.
Okay.
So you're going to start, I know, and you're going to turn it over.
Yes. So, members of the board and our audience, as much as I would love to introduce our string quartet, I think that Wayne, our two-time Grammy nominated Connecticut Music Teacher of the Year, can do a much better job. He's worked with these fine young ladies much longer, so I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. So this group has been together since they were in 7th grade. We did a combined concert at the middle school, and I heard there were some outstanding players. So I talked to the middle school teacher. I go, who were those players? So they gave me their names, and then the next week they were already up at the high school performing with the chamber group that we started up here. Over the last 6 years, these girls have performed for the Beatles and Stones tour, which they're going again, by the way. They're coming back. They performed for NBC 30, their channel, our Christmas show. They performed all over the greater Torrington area. To be selected to perform at Allstate is the highest honor that CMEA can bestow upon a school. Every year, music teachers have a conference at Hartford Convention Center. And schools all over the state submit recordings for groups. Not everyone gets selected. They only select the best. So they were selected, and they'll be performing on April 4th at the Hartford Convention Center in front of music teachers from all across the state. This is not the only group we've had. In 2019, the band also selected to perform. So the fact we had 2 groups selected to perform at Allstate is really unheard of, to have 2 different groups perform. So what they've done is truly amazing. I cannot tell you how proud I am of what they've done. They are a teacher's dream. They're driven. They do everything on their own. I never have to tell them to go practice or anything like that. As a teacher, our greatest reward is to see our students find their passion and then excel at it. You're looking at 4 of my greatest rewards right now. So thank you for giving them time, and I know you'll enjoy them.
Thank you.
Mr. Scott, if you'd like to help me. Sure. That would be wonderful.
Say it out loud for the camera.
Sorry.
Chloe.
I guess I'll stand.
I mean, you guys have them, you know? And Emily. Thank you. Awesome job. If you wouldn't mind taking a picture of your son this way?
You're so photographed, I understand. The board was mine. Make sure we get everyone in. I'm gonna come around so they can see you. Going this way. Make his awesome job. And then I'm gonna, so they can get everyone in the back. Your stature. Thank you, ladies.
I just know. Play anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Two excellent performances. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for setting them up to come and play for us. So it's good to see the students. Let's get through the formalities here. So we'll do the approval of the agenda. I will hear a motion to that effect with the caveat that we'd like to remove item number 7, which was second recognitions, as we have no more, and then move everything up a number.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion is moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Agenda is approved. School community service and public participation. Is there anyone is there anyone online who may or may not be interested in speaking with us? Okay, then we will skip the long paragraph, and we'll move right to our student representative report. Take it away whenever you're ready.
In academic news, February 23rd marks the midway point of Q3, and our March Parent-Teacher Conference signups are right around the corner. Coming up on March 1st, our juniors will be taking the NGSS on Wednesday, March 20th. Torrington High School is offering the SAT on the 8 through at 8/9 and the SAT for the 10th graders through the state of Connecticut SAT School Day.
Torrington High School held 2 South workshops that were a success with almost 90 parents and students in attendance just in the first workshop alone. Many students and families were able to finish their classes, and the school counseling department can't wait to begin the celebrations with the seniors that have completed it. Special thanks and congratulations to all of our PHS school counseling department, Mrs. Ocasio, our FAFSA expert, Shannon Taunton from Contact Inc., and Northwestern Community College.
Our JRTC program has its semester change of command. This tradition, known as the change of command ceremony, is steeped in military history, symbolizing the transfer of responsibility and leadership within the squadron. Cadet Luis Alvarez assumed command from Cadet Caleb Kessel. The ceremony took place during the club period at THS.
The event showcased the values of leadership, respect, and tradition that are deeply ingrained in this remarkable program.
Katie Gregory, the physical education teacher and unified sports coach at THS, successfully secured a $1,000 grant from the CIAC. The grant will be utilized to complete the cornhole boards at THS and acquire new ones for remaining funds. This financial support is instrumental in advancing the United Team's initiative for a school-wide inclusion project while facilitating opportunities for inclusive youth leadership and encouraging whole-school inclusion.
The Thespian Honor Society Cabaret drew a sizable crowd, filling the room with excitement. Students actively participated by selling tickets and warmly welcoming families. The event featured delightful music, delicious food, and festive activities, creating a joyous atmosphere that brought the community together. A heartfelt thank you goes out to everyone who attended the THS Student Theater Valentine's Cabaret last Friday. The evening showcased exceptional talent and was thoroughly enjoyable. Special appreciation to Connor Sullivan for coordinating the program, Matthew Grenfell for contributing his talents and organizing the Blues Group, and Cindy Zwart for unwavering support of any creative endeavor. And of course, kudos to our amazing students. Fit Together collaborated with Torrington Public Schools to offer a New Year, New You posters contest to all students. Students were able to draw or create an additional poster with a health and wellness theme to align with Fit Together's 5210 message. The winning artists will receive a free smoothie from the Fuel Smoothie and Juice Bar and will be published in an upcoming school district calendar. Congratulations to Elijah Dunleavy, Haley Phelps, and Skylar Nash, as they were selected as our winners representing the Torrington High School for our district wellness poster contest.
In Mr. Tyler's anatomy and physiology class, students engaged in a hands-on learning experience by dissecting chickens. This lesson provided a practical understanding of how various structures such as muscles, nerves, and bones collaborate to facilitate movement in chickens. The activity assisted students in comprehending antagonist pairs of muscles and connective tissues. Our UConn ECE biology students commenced the semester with crayfish dissection, employing the method of dissecting animal organs. This teaching approach offers a direct and authentic insight into morphological structures. Involving students in a hands-on activity not only facilitates methodological learning, but also enhances their understanding of the scientific inquiry process. This dissection aimed to help students grasp the anatomy of a crayfish and gain a deeper understanding of the anatomical features of invertebrate animals.
In sports news, head coach Mike Fridge hit win number 500 for Torrington. His Raiders beat Watertown 49-45. This is a wonderful accomplishment in coaching, and we are proud of his work with our Torrington girls basketball team. Congratulations to our cheerleading team. They came in first place this weekend in the New England Cheer and Dance Championships. Additionally, kudos to a group of outstanding students who have been honored with all NBL awards. Lily Hardy received the All NBL Cheerleading Award. Haley Berger is recognized with the All NBL Award for girls basketball. And our All NBL indoor track athletes include Michael Awa for long jump and Alex Bush for pole vault. Congratulations to all your well-deserved achievements.
In the realm of music, let's congratulate our THS seniors, Emily Takuri Penaranda, viola, and Rosangel Baez Batista cello, for their selection to the prestigious 2024 New England Music Festival Orchestra. The New England Music Festival draws participants from schools all across the region and is known for its high level of competitiveness. This grand event is scheduled to take place at the renowned Mechanics Hall in Worcester, Mass. On Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. Furthermore, kudos are in order for the Torrington High School String Quartet, which has earned the honor of performing at the 2024 Connecticut Music Educators Association State Conference. This recognition stands as the highest accolade bestowed by the Connecticut Music Educators Association. The THS band back in 2019 was the first group in Torrington to be chosen for All-State. Our members of the THS Orchestra include our two violinists, Aisley Harrison, Chloe Byatt, violist Emily Takuri Penaranda, and cellist Rosangel Baez Batista, which all belong to the graduating class of 2024. Additionally, congratulations go out to our all-state choir selectees, Reed Freiler and Elise Petro, who are the first choir students to have been selected in 10 years. Thank you for your attention, and that concludes our Torrington High School board report.
Thank you all for sharing all of that news with us, and really for your just tremendous performance. Every time I think I know everything that's going on in our schools, our students come in front of the Board of Ed and just blow me away. It's really, thank you all, and please, you're more than welcome to stay, but do not feel obligated. We're about to do a lot of talking and not very much doing for the next hour or so. So by no means feel obligated to stay. Thank you. So with that, we'll dive right into our information sharing session. We'll kick it off with the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone, and thank you again to all of our performers from Southwest, our Drumming Dragons, and from our high school, our string quartet. Amazing night this evening, and I will be there along with Assistant Superintendent Ferguson in April to cheer them on as well. The entire central office team descended upon Torrington Middle School for our first annual spelling bee on February 2nd. What an amazing event. Some of the words were tough. In case any board member is asking, Sue and I made it to the final round. I don't know how others fared. Mr. Pergola, I think, was mid-round. I was giving him mid. I think he flashed a different number than mid-round. But there were some tough words, and it was a great event for all of our students and participants. So it was a nice day to cheer them on, and the entire central office team went up there to cheer them on, which was great. As I shared in January, that we were underway with our mid-year evaluations. Those have been completed by our administrators. And to discuss progress towards people's year-end goals and objectives, while it's a great deal of work, it is a necessary collaborative component that we share that helps ensure teacher, administrator, and student growth. Our K registration kicks off on March 1st for our age-eligible students, and there's been notification for the law change we've put out in our website instructions for other students who might not meet the newly passed age requirement, and there's a process for them as well. But for kindergarten, on March 1st, all age eligible, it will be open and ready to go. Also, some great and exciting news. On March 4th, we'll have an in-person welcome center at the central office at Mitchell Avenue to assist with all of our families with any registration concerns that they may have. And we'll also be able to help them with community partners as well. Huge congratulations as well to our boys and girls basketball teams. They made our state tournament, which is no easy feat, so kudos to them. Assistant Superintendent Ferguson and I were happy to celebrate our 100th day of school with all of our students. And obviously, if you saw the pictures on Facebook, they were quite fun. A lot of people did not guess who I was, but that's okay. We'll work on it for next year. But we had some fun with that, and the students really got a kick out of it. And as always, a big thank you to all of our team, students, our teachers, our administrators, for all of their hard work and dedication. It is a highlight. We get to go in each and every day, and to share that highlight this evening with the board, we get to see it every day. So we don't ever take it for granted, but it is great to share something like this tonight. We couldn't be prouder of all of our students.
Any questions for the superintendent? Okay, we'll move right along. Human Resources report.
Thank you, everyone. So you have my normal report, and then after I'm done with the report, I will talk to you a little bit about the Increasing Educator Diversity Plan, which is an action item for the board for this evening in accordance with state statute that has to be submitted by March 15th. So I'll start with my report. So our vacancies, you can see for certified staff, we're in very, very good shape. We are now going to be looking at putting our anticipated vacancies for the 24-25 school year and start to do that work as we start to go out and about with job fairs. Our classified staff, we're also doing very well comparatively. I'm actually super excited to report that cafeteria position has been filled. So for the first time since I've been here, we have a full cafeteria staff. So kudos to the food service director, to Peter and Kristen and their team, and to the administrators at the schools. I'm very excited about that. So that's great news. Our fill rates continue to be a little challenging from where they are. Our January fill rate for teachers is actually slightly higher than what our January fill rate was last year at this time. So it's a little bit higher, so we're making progress. We're getting there, but we've been having extensive meetings with ESS. The regional director actually was out last week meeting with me and Dakina to talk about mid-year progress and really see what we can do to try to move the numbers. So we'll continue to recruit and come up with new strategies on ways that we can find more candidates and retain those candidates. For our absences, we're trending about the same for absences, so that's good. We actually are seeing a little progress in both areas for this month, so I'm hoping that that number will go down a little bit. And then as far as our initiatives go, again, we were at the job fair at City Hall. Both Torrington Public Schools and ESS had a table there. We did attend the University of St. Joe's Education Fair on February 15th. UHART was supposed to be tomorrow, but it's actually been postponed because they realized that half of their candidates are out student teaching. So they postponed it, so that will be happening at a later date. We are scheduled for UConn, CCSU, Quinnipiac, and Southern, so in the next few months, so we'll be out and about at those locations. Our teacher residency program and our relay programs, we're starting recruitment for the 24-25 school year, and we'll be posting our anticipated openings. And then, as I said, we'll be going over our increasing educator diversity plan that we'd like to present to you for consideration. For retention, we had our first engagement exchange at the middle school, which is like a stay interview process, and it was very well received by the middle school team. We were there for the whole day, and we were busy all day. So we were very excited that people came, they shared, we got very good feedback. So we're gonna be working with the administration to kind of dissect that feedback. But we're very excited about the process. The feedback was positive on the process from everybody. I think everyone appreciated it. So that was very exciting. And we're gonna be doing that again at another school, probably end of April and beginning of May. We're gonna be scheduling another school. And then next year we will try to make sure we hit every single school. So but that was very exciting. And then I also held an in-person new teacher check-in on Monday where we invited all of our first-year teachers, whether they are new to teaching or just new to Torrington. We invited all of them to the middle school and just kind of had a conversation with everybody about what went well during their kind of onboarding to Torrington and what can we do better as we start to look at recruiting for next year. And again, we got some really good input from people, so we're going to be looking at that as we kind of perfect our process for next year. For wellness, our February on-demand webinars are dashing to blood pressure and managing cash flow and debt in our tax season. And we have a mindfulness group that is coming up, or just happened today, I think. And then spring yoga and our annual walking challenge are underway. I actually just worked on ordering all of our prizes and welcome gifts for the walking challenge. So that is well in the planning stages. And then on the second page, you have all the data. So I'm happy to answer any questions about any of the data or any information. And then we can move on to the IEP. So if you have any questions about the report?
I do briefly.
Sure.
Pass it along. I'm interested in the engagement exchange.
Sure.
Do you feel like, I guess what I'm wondering overall is like, is there actionable stuff here that we as board or you all as administrators can really
I think it's at the school level that the actionable items will happen. There was definite both positive and constructive feedback. People were very honest because it was completely anonymous. So, and the way that we've been able to kind of bring that together is we kind of looked at themes so that we didn't have to worry about, like, we want to maintain the confidentiality that we promised everybody. So we're pulling together themes and working on how we can make sure we get that information to the administration so that we can talk about ways to collaboratively work on some of those things.
Great, I'm really.
So yes, and it was, just to kind of give you an idea, a picture of the process. What we were set up in Shelley did an amazing job and gave us a great space. We had the auditorium, so we were up on the stage. We had 2 tables that were set very far apart from each other. One was for Takina and one was for me. We set up our like banquet table in the middle. We put up our swag, like all of our decorations. We made little gift bags of Torrington swag for every person that came to see us. We also had Kristen from food service provide a light breakfast and a light snack in the afternoon. I brought my Amazon speaker. We played jazz music, so it was very welcoming, and people just sat with us and just, we had some great questions like, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you change about your job? And we just asked really good questions that really allowed people to just open up. And I think, I was pleased with the fact that we were busy all day, like we never even had downtime. Like I had to like tell somebody like Takina needs to take a break. So I was really pleased with the amount of people that came down and the very honesty of that people shared.
Thanks, I really appreciate that insight. Does anyone have other questions related to that part of the report? Same question. All right, then I guess we're good.
Okay. Right, so next is the Increasing Educator Diversity Plan. So you may recall in December, we had adopted the revised policy from Shipman and Goodwin through Policy Committee where we changed the policy from minority teacher recruitment to increasing educator diversity. The new statute that was effective July 1st of last year is that as of March 15th, 2024, all districts are required to submit an increasing educator diversity plan to the State Department of Education, and that plan must be approved by the Board of Education. And part of that process is to pull together a committee, which we did. So we had 3 teachers, 2 administrators, and myself and Takina. We met 6 times over the course of the last few months, and we went through all of our data, which you can see that data in the plan that I've shared with you, some of our data and our historical information. And then the strategies that we've proposed in this plan are what the strategies the committee is recommending to the board that we move forward with. So, have you want me to go through it? Have you had an opportunity to read it? You have to tell me how you like it. I don't think you have to go through it. I'll tell anybody.
Yeah, no.
The policy number is actually 4062.
Oh, thank you. I apologize.
Looked at it again to make sure, but I don't have anything that particularly concerns, interests, or otherwise worries me. As long as no one else has anything related to it.
Set up a firestorm here. Just with all the lawsuits going on, do we have to define color or no?
I think it's defined by the federal level,
Our attorney's here, but I don't know anything about it, so.
I think it is defined at the federal level, but race and ethnicity are recognized by the Office of Civil Rights, and so I think that is defined through that entity. Excellent question.
Any other questions related to human resources report? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your consideration, for the hard work, and thank you to everybody that was on the committee. I know a couple of people are here, I think, but thank you to the people that contributed to the committee, because I think the feedback from the various stakeholders was valuable.
Move right to the special education report.
Okay, so I have my usual table there. Our numbers are down a little bit, and when I dug into why, I was kind of excited to see that in district, right now, this particular month, we're down 9. And then looking at that, we have had several students at the high school who have exited out of special ed. And that's what we want to see, right? We want to see that they come in, they get the services that they need, and then they're exited. And it was nice to see that the referrals are coming in, not when they're really babies, but in elementary, they're coming in, they're getting the supports, and we're starting to see some that are able to leave us, which is a wonderful thing. Our district, the pink are numbers that have increased. Pre-K, once again, continues to go up, but that's expected every year. The other thing is the choice. Our special ed students whose parents have chosen for them to go to the choice schools has slowly been declining, which I'm excited to see. They're coming back to us. And so we were up one this month, but I did a little look back to October to kind of compare some of our numbers. And this year, we have, we've gone down by 4 students who have now come back to us from choice programs. In addition to that, our outplaced 18 to 21 has gone down 2. We have increased 2 students were outplaced over where we were at the beginning of the year. But even though the total student population was up by 18, our special ed identified students K through 12 is down by 11. So I really feel good about where we are. Our prevalence is down a little bit. We've consistently been in that 15 to 16%, which is great. That's where we want to be. And so things are looking great there. And then the 504 plans. So in addition, from January to February, they have gone up 14, and there are 28 more students at 504 plans this year, right now this year than there were in October. So that also shows us that those regular ed accommodations are being put into a place for children that need them as well. So tonight, it's going to be brief. Some of you were fortunate to be able to hear Paulina Kalaki speak about our TAG program at 6. She went over kind of a comprehensive review of her program. I asked her if she could come and just do a very brief little 5 to 10 minute thing, just so that those of you who haven't seen what TAG is all about can hear it from Paulina, who is our teacher. So Paulina, Josh, you have that, right, to pull up? Awesome. Okay.
All right, so our first event coming up is our National History Day competition. So we have a few entries, and we also have more not listed here, but we'll talk about those as well. So our first big one is a group performance. Our 8th graders are doing the Hartford Circus Fire, Sparking a Change. They've been working on this project since October, so now they're just perfecting their last steps. Next week we hope to invite some teachers and administrators just to watch them before they perform in Burlington in 2 weeks. We also have an individual performance, also an 8th grader. John Brown is turning boy Bravo. We have an individual documentary, just a 6th grader. It's her first time she's ever made one. So the whole process was very good for the 6th graders to go through. She's doing the influenza of 1918. We also have a 6th grader doing an individual website, which we have 2. The Black Plague and then the Jim Crow laws. And then we also have 2 6th grade papers, Horace Wells, anesthesia and robotic surgery. We also have a group exhibit about the first pharmacist, 2 girls who are going to be talking about their exhibit at the competition. So I'm very excited to see how that turns out. We also had the first spelling bee a few weeks ago. So that took place on February 2nd. The school champions will art truck. She's moving on to the state competition this Sunday. So we've been working on preparing her for the final round of the state competition. This is just a picture of the spelling bee of our 3 winners. The Math Olympiads, there's 5 total competitions. We have 1 competition left, and students will get a ranking like in the district, and they'll be able to see how they compare peers in other countries, like they percentile rank. This year there are 39 countries taking part in this competition, and every month they get 5 questions, and they're extremely difficult and like 3 to 4 grades above grade level to solve. So those are the kinds of things we're working on Fridays. We have students who are non-tag but have been recommended by the teacher to join the group so we can have more collaborative discussions in math and to work on some more challenging problems. So our current leader right now for the elementary division in the district is Joshua. He's actually in 6th grade, and he has beaten all of the 6th graders right now. So we're very proud of him. And in grade 8, we have Dylan Giuliano, who is our Division M winner. We have 1 more round left, so that could change. There's very close points. Next, we are doing the Invention Convention. We are almost done at the elementary level, so grades 4 and 5 are presenting this week and next week, and they're getting graded based on a critical thinking rubric. So students had to go through a specific process of identifying a problem, brainstorming possible solutions, designing a prototype. And a prototype, we encourage them to use recycled materials, testing a prototype, improving a prototype, and brainstorming marketing strategies. And then the last part is they had to present the new invention. They had to make a whole slideshow, they had to make a commercial, and then present it to me in 5 to 10 minutes presentation. At Southwest, Ms. Zeiser, who's the librarian, we paired up, and students were able to collaborate with some of her WIT students. So we're in the process of grading those, and we'll be able to send 5 students to the semifinals, which is virtual this year. And then anyone who moves on from the virtual round will be able to compete at finals at UConn in June. Oh yeah, sorry, this is so these are our 2 inventions. One's from Forbes and one is from Southwest. Students were able to work with a partner or by themselves. So on the left, we had a student who made like a improved umbrella, and he talked about how like baseball games, people can fit 6 or more people if it's pouring or a sporting event or just walking, so you don't need a raincoat or rain boots. It's like a super umbrella. And then at Southwest, we had 2 students come up with, they identified a problem that the students swing in chairs. They want to prevent injuries, so they invented a chair which would prevent students from rocking. They could like lean back, but it would prevent them from falling from the chair. So those are 2 interesting inventions I picked up to show. All right, so then for the fundraisers, at the beginning of the year, Laura was, she helped us with the first field trip and a lot of the materials we need to get the program started. But since then, we were awarded with a Donors Choose grant for projects that were STEM-based. So after we're done all the competition, students will be able to work on more STEM-related topics and dive more into the engineering process. We have also raised over $1,300 for a district-wide tag program by selling Jimmy's tickets, and students did a bake sale during one of the games at the middle school. So that was their like student-initiated bake sale. They wanted to pay for it. And then last, they just have a quick clip on what students are saying about tags. I just put a few of the videos together into one presentation.
Josh, can you make sure that's loud?
Looks like the video isn't attached here.
Have the video, you can send it to her. I'm sorry, do you have the video that you can send to her? Maybe it wasn't attached in the.
Or you can use it from the other presentation.
Maybe the one from 6 February.
So that was very nice.
That was February 7th of that month.
I enjoy tag because I get to be around people who think like I
engage in education more effectively. What I like about tags is that we get to do a lot of hands-on stuff.
That's just a lot. It's just, that's not.
I enjoy tag because I get to be around people who think like I
engage in education more effectively. What I like about tags is that we get to do a lot of hands-on stuff, like building a lot of structures, and I also like that we get to participate in the invention. I also learned a lot of new things. Something that I like about tag is that we can have discussions to think more critically.
I like going to tag because it makes me feel like I fit in, and it makes me feel like I can express myself in more intellectual words and actually like use my brain to its full capability.
TAG program gives me the opportunities to work with students who are engaged and motivated to do their work.
Lots of things. We learn topics from a higher grade.
I enjoy tag because I get to be around people who think like I
engage in education more effectively. What I like about tags is that we get to do a lot of hands-on stuff, like building a lot of structures, and I also like that we get to participate in the invention convention, and I also learn a lot of new things. Something that I like about tag is that that we could have discussions to think more critically.
I like going to tag because it makes me feel like I fit in, and it makes me feel like I can express myself in more intellectual words and actually like use my brain to its full capability.
The tag program gives me the opportunities to work with students who are engaged and motivated to do their work.
Lots of things. We learn topics from a higher grade level to challenge us.
Really fun. For instance, we can be inventors and work on our writing and communication skills.
Learn about subjects that I'm more passionate about that I wouldn't be able to learn in class.
Thanks, Paulina. Thanks very much. And so next month, you're going to hear about Thrive, which is our behavior program.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the board related to any part of the
It might have to do with this, but the governor is talking about taking the cap off of all ag schools and the number of students. Is that something you heard about that? How does that impact us? Is it part of this or no?
Right.
I'm still trying to explain it to me.
If you may recall, I'll tackle it. You may recall a few years ago, one of the schools that we sent students to mistakenly accepted 18 of them when they should have accepted about 5. And I'm not sure exactly what the cost would have been associated with that, but I know there was a substantial one. So if we were unable to limit the number of students we send, or the formula were to change, I would imagine it'd be a pretty significant cost if our families wanted to send their students there. But I'm thankful that there's a trend, at least for among our SPED students, that they're bringing their kids home rather than going to school choice.
It could impact us a lot. Maybe the high school will help, but are you worried about that? Have you heard about it?
We are, as Mr. Corey said, right now, when the governor made that statement, obviously he has budgets to look at it, to make trims. It wasn't in his original plan, so to come out now and to try to make that change, I know he's being met with a lot of opposition on it. So we're monitoring it. It's at this stage, no cause for alarm immediate, but you're 100% correct. If it goes the other way, we'll have a bigger discussion.
I know high school might be a big help.
We think
especially with the intent.
And there's a lot of opposition to adjusting the biennial budget. For anyone who hasn't followed it very closely, the gist of the plan that the governor has proposed is to divert a certain percentage of the funds that were slated for traditional education by covering some of the costs associated with school choice, special education, things like that, and moving them for early childhood, which I'm no opponent of early childhood, but we sort of have expectations when the state says it's going to cover some costs, that it covers those costs. But there's a lot of opposition to the adjustment among legislators and school districts and the general public. Even families are quite upset because they worry that it may impact their ability to send their kids to the schools that they want to because their districts can't afford it. So I suspect that the proposal will not be the final word on it. Any other questions?
What's the choice school?
It would be like magnets.
The magnet schools or the FOAG, like those, or just even,
Okay,
yep.
Oliver Wolf.
just wasn't familiar with the term, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Unless you had something else for us.
No, that's it.
All right. So liaison reports, how did we settle on doing these? Folks have them in their packets. And so any questions they can ask. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions related to their liaison reports, or if any building principals want to add anything, certainly feel free to come and share with us. Okay. Thank you all.
Just really quick, Ed, sorry, I did get an update yesterday regarding Torrington for the St. Jude's Telethon on Sunday. In addition to what's in here, the student council will be presenting their kindness campaign check, as well as the dance team will be performing on Sunday.
Oh, good. Thank you for that.
And I I reached out to Forbes School, which is the school that I'm a liaison for. I attended the joint PTO meeting between Forbes and Torrington on the 21st to introduce myself and to hear what was going on with the school.
Thank you very much, Mr. Knight. And thank you for all the building administrators for putting all this work in to share all this with us. We certainly appreciate it. With that, we'll go right ahead to the monthly financials.
Sure, thank you. As Superintendent Wilson said, we're past the halfway mark. I don't have anything to call out that we didn't already go over in the committee meeting. At the committee meeting, we go into a lot of detail. So again, nothing really to report. There's Dean and his team's doing a great job. Nothing is broken. We've had a mild winter so far. So it looks like we're going to get out with hopefully not another snowstorm. I'm not coming for that one.
Yes.
If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I have one. How is the new subcontractor doing with the plowing?
Can you say that?
How is the subcontractor doing with the plowing? His price was a real competitive price. I have no idea, but.
Doing good.
Is it good?
Yeah, stayed up with everything. He's done everything I asked him to do. Stays in constant contact with me from 3 in the morning until he leaves. His crews are here. His supplies are here. His salt is up there. His machines are here. It's been, and I've gotten very good feedback from our head custodians and the guys at the school saying much different approach. So.
Yeah, everything they said has come true from when I went down and checked out all their machinery and what they said, so I'm very pleased with this so far.
Any other questions related to monthly financials? Okay, I think I may have said this at the budget meeting, but if not, I certainly appreciate having the building use revenue included. I think that it's helpful giving us some perspective on what's really coming through the door. And for anyone who wasn't at the budget meeting, I think you told us that there were some funds that were invoiced.
Yes, deposits. They're on one of the sheets.
Okay, all right, yeah.
The last
here.
page.
Oh, it's on the last
There you
page.
go.
Great. So you will also notice that that there's a significant amount that's been invoiced that'll come in the door to sort of complete the picture there. So we'll go ahead then for field trips. Ms. Ferguson.
Sure, so the first one on the agenda is really just for your information. It's the Johnson O'Connor field trip that the board is well aware of that we've done. Now this is year 2, the one sponsored by Brooklyn Memorial, where students, sophomores and juniors are invited to apply to go into Boston to have that full day experience where they kind of go through that aptitude testing. The reason that, so what's been happening is all the dates, if you recall, if you were on board last year, the board approved them in a bundle, the dates. It's the same trip several times throughout the year. This year, the dates throughout the entire year were not initially provided to us, so they kind of call us and say, okay, here's the next 4 dates. This time around, it fell outside of that 60-day lead time that our policy requires, so Superintendent Wilson reached out to and just gave a heads up that this is the way it's happening, but it's a trip that you all approved. Just wanted to give you the next set of dates. And today was supposed to be one of those dates, but it was actually.
And I think you sent an email to the full board.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you sent an email out individually to each board member.
Yeah, so everybody should thank you for that reminder. You should have received an email. It's just in the packet as sort of to memorialize it.
Make it official.
Yeah.
Questions from board members related to the first field trip?
Okay, perfect. The next one is the one to the Met. It is pretty self-explanatory. It's Emily Murphy, our teacher, wants to take some of her students to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Yeah, it's a nice opportunity. The end of April. It's completely aligned
relating to the Met field trip.
Okay, and then the next one, actually Erin Sullivan is here to help discuss this one a little bit. This is another one, and she will explain, but this is an opportunity connected to NEAS. And we were invited, and as Erin will tell you, participate in this experience, but again, outside of that 60-day window. So we're asking for the board's consideration.
So the first thing to note on the field trip request form is that there is a slight change. We were not sure when I filled out the paperwork exactly what the schedule looked like for the day, and we're concerned about how early the start time would be. So we've actually put in an overnight. We're going to plan to leave just at like 5:30 that morning and give us plenty of time to get there. This is the NEASC showcase. This year, which they do every year, it's an annual event that NEASC does. This year's focus is the power of belonging, and how building a sense of community and integrating elements of community building within a school can have positive impacts on student performance. We as a school have been invited to participate as presenters for one of the workshops. It's a series of workshops all day long on particularly the Raider Rally, our event that we've been doing since 2013, and how that one specific event builds this idea of the power of belonging in the community by involving the whole school in community service. The two students who will be attending are our Raider Rally committee chairs this year, my student committee leaders, Ruby Leonard and Freya Harrell. Ruby is our organizing committee chair and Freya is our event planner. So the two of them are organizing a full committee of students, and each time we do the Raider Rally, we have student organizers who sit in these positions, who are reaching out to local businesses, organizing the registration process, reaching out to vendors for the day so that we have all the activities for the students to do and everything like that. So they will actually be attending as student presenters to the workshop, to representatives from schools, from the entire NEASC organization. And then we will also have an opportunity, the plan is for myself and Amanda Torres to accompany them, and we'll have an opportunity, all four of us, to swap in and out of workshops while we're there to bring back some of what the other NEASC schools are doing to focus on this idea of the power of belonging.
It's really quite an honor to be invited to participate. So.
Excellent. Any questions from members of the board? Yeah, Ms. Prince.
I'm sorry, you may have mentioned this or when you sat down here, but is the request is to switch it from a day long to an overnight? No, the other way, from an overnight to a day long. Okay, yeah, thank you for the clarification. Okay, April 4th. All right, thank you. Yep.
Any other questions from members of the board? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more, I'm sorry, yes, one more. Course. There's how many two students are going and two teachers, right? I did just read that they have teams of people, right? So you're doing a team of 4. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all the field trips. Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. Let's go right for the policies. We'll do 5005 administration of medication. Do you want policies or do you want committee chair?
Gary, did you want to?
We've had a good meeting. I got business policies. We move them on.
They were pretty straightforward.
They were pretty straightforward, they were legal updates, they came right from Shipman and Goodwin. And we reviewed the net policy over the updates that they had recommended this year, and
the play-based set me off, and it set me on a different direction. I don't understand what that is, and I guess watch it, but nobody does it. Pretty self-explanatory, but this isn't smart enough.
So these are all statutory updates.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for the committee chair or administrators related to the policies? Okay. Next up, we have the TMS fire alarm bid from Soundworks. Ms. Pergola, if you want to tell us a little bit about that. I know I was at the meeting, but some folks weren't.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we put out the bid for the fire alarm replacement. It's 140 in the packet. If you lost track a little bit here. So it went out to bid, we had 3 bidders come in, to give us bids, and I didn't put the whole packet in here, but if you look on page 141, down at the bottom is the specifications that give you an idea of what we're doing. Fire alarm there, it's been in there since the place was built. So we're replacing the fire panel along with all of the apparatuses that are in there, whether it's a smoke head or a duck head or anything that has to do with the fire alarm system. It's for, when you first walk into the school to the right, that big panel right there, if you notice that, that's the fire alarm panel. There's 2 parts to it right now, fire alarm panel and enunciated panel. It'll look a lot different when we're completed, just because of certain code changes. Anyway, the bid went out. We had some questions that came back, and I attached those questions to an addendum along with some other clarifications that they were asking for the job. That's page 143 and 144. And if you move on to page 145, it just gives some of the answers to the addendums I was looking for. I was asking for some questions on what their service rates are when they complete the job. So that's what that page 145 is. And moving on to the next page, which I'm sure is 146, staples, that is a summary of if they completed the bid, what their cost was, any other information that was relevant in picking and choosing the contractor. My suggestion was to go with Soundworks because of the check marks. If you take a look at the checklist that I put together there, they met all the check marks. And that was my recommendation that the board is going to ask you for tonight.
Great. I chaired that meeting, and that's pretty accurate to my recollection. We had some discussion, I would just add, as a committee about Soundworks being the high bidder and the low bidder, FCS. Ultimately, the committee as a group decided based on the recommendation of Mr. Pergola in their completion of all the criteria to recommend Soundworks. So with that, does anyone have any questions related to this topic? Okay, thank you. We next up have a super fun possible executive session regarding an attorney-client privilege communication related to the board's legal responsibilities with respect to health insurance premiums, and we will hear a motion to that effect if there is one. So what was that? Motion was made, seconded. Mr. Putnam and Mr. Guido, everyone in favor, please signify by saying aye. Excuse me, you'll need to amend your motion, so we could practice this, to invite in the superintendent and Mr. Pedrozelli. So, okay. Now, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. We are back in open session here at 8:12 p.m. We have committee reports on the agenda. We haven't voted to pull them off, so we'll do them. But if folks want to go really quickly, we certainly appreciate it. With that, we'll hear from School Improvement Committee Chairman.
School Improvement Committee met early in February. A big thing is the goals, and we arrived at a couple of decisions. I think we're deep sixing some of them. Pay attention to the school improvement packet when it comes out, because I'm going to put the list of where we are at this point. We will have goals for the board to consider at the next meeting. We saw a presentation on the TAG program, very much like we saw tonight, and positive as well. And we meet again on the 6th of March at Southwest School, and before that time, we will run a school visit through there, and probably Kristen and I will go and visit the school. That's where we'll be.
Excellent.
Oh, and we also have the distinguished alumnus award. How are we doing with any nominations so far?
I honestly haven't checked.
Okay, it's early.
I think we have a couple, but I haven't checked this week.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Disco? Okay. Policy Committee. Great.
Policy was, the last meeting was mid-February. Next meeting is the 6th, like John said, for sick. We discussed the 3 that we passed forward. We've got a couple on the agenda, one being the Torrington Symphony requesting some help. I think for future work, for future discussion, is some discipline. Maybe, I don't remember exactly.
Nepotism and the one that the facilities use.
Right, which is, but other than that, right now, we'll keep us informed.
Right. Questions for Policy Committee? Okay. Budget Committee.
We received the 24-25 budget from the superintendent. Reviewed a lot of things, questions that were brought forward were answered, more questions forthcoming our next meeting. It's on the 13th, and then we're also having immediately following a budget workshop, and then on the 18th, another budget workshop.
Any questions for Budget Committee? Okay, I will say that the budget presentation was very good. And I like the way the process is going so far. I'll take Facilities and Technology because Mr. Berger was unable to attend. We did the SoundWorks bid that you all heard about a bit ago. We also went through where this year's capital plan items are. Quite a few of them are either being done or out to bid. Really a lot of work going on related to those. We discussed the future of the contract for the landscaping and grounds maintenance and things like that, and monitoring the current performance under the existing contract because it does have another year. But if the board is dissatisfied with the performance under the contract, the committee did discuss the possibility of taking action sooner. I think that's all the high notes for facilities. Did I miss anything? Any questions related to the facilities committee's work? Great. Redistricting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Either one of us can take it.
Yeah, I was like, go for it.
Yeah.
Good.
The committee started, we had our first meeting a couple weeks ago. We have another meeting Monday night. We have some of our board members are participating in the process. I think that did we leave it so that board members could come in if they didn't sign up? Or no, we're not gonna do that.
We did
right?
not.
Just to keep it consistent so that people don't pop in and out. Okay, so.
We're 43 members.
Yeah, so we are at a pretty high number, but we have good representation. So I think we're going in the right direction. Central office has done so much work already. That's been very helpful in getting the bus company involved, and Mercy will come to one of the meetings and give us some insight there, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you. I agree. The only thing I would add is it's nice to have, parent representatives, teachers there, board members, community members, really a nice mix, and it's really good to hear everyone's voice. So thank you for everyone that's been there.
I like to add thoughtful questions from
Members of the community, yep.
Good. So, anyone else have anything related to that? Okay. Building Committee. so I'm here.
I didn't make the last meeting, but it was not that complicated, but overall, the paper today, there was noted that we're ahead of schedule by a month. We're on budget, we still have quite a bit of contingency left. Mario got the check, so good. And we can pay the sub, they can pay the subs. But just so everybody knows, subs don't get paid unless we get the check. Only doesn't disperse the money until they get paid from us, which we did from the city, there's some mistakes out there. And it's just a thing, you know. But, no issues yet. So,
Great. Do we have anything for Gary related to building committee? Okay. Then we'll go right ahead to action items. There's no action related to 11A, which is regarding the executive session. So we'll go to 11B, the increasing educator diversity plan as presented. I will hear a motion if there is one.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the table is to approve that plan, just for first of the record. Is there any discussion? Okay.
Going Gary?
Yes. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? The motion carries. 11C, the monthly financials. I'll entertain a motion to approve the monthly financials.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstentions? The motion carries. We have 11D as a single agenda item, so unless there's objection, I will entertain a motion to approve both the Met and the NIESC field trips in one motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so that's Jeff and Bill.
Jeff and Bill.
Yep. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Motion carries. We'll hear, same deal, they're all under one agenda item, so we'll hear a motion to approve policies 5005, administration of medication, 5030, student discipline, and 5031, recess and play-based learning, as a bundle.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion related to the policies? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Motion carries. We'll hear a motion to approve the TMS fire alarm bid from Soundworks as recommended by the policy committee.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Second?
Gary.
Gary, thank you.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. We will hear a motion to accept the Board of and approve the Board of Education regular meeting minutes from January 24th, 2024. Second. Okay, that's Sue and Jeff. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? Great, motion carries. We'll hear a motion to receive the committee meeting minutes as listed as bundle.
So,
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? Motion carries. And finally, we will hear a motion to approve the consent agenda. Excuse me, yeah, right, receive the consent agenda.
So.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any,
That was Sue and Gary.
any opposition or abstention? Okay, the motion carries. Items for the upcoming agenda. I don't think the budget will be ready then. Now this will be in committee. We'll have the monthly financials. Yeah, maybe it'll be ready. We'll have the monthly financials, of course. Anything else on here that's recurring? What else is going to be on the agenda so far? Anything here?
Bring the string quartet back.
Yeah.
That was a nice way to open a meeting.
We will have another recognition, meal recognition.
Good meeting.
Yeah, those were really great. I know you said you'll be bringing somebody for
The Thrive.
Thrive.
It'll be the same thing, just
Little
like a quick
presentation.
5 minutes or so
Great.
during my report.
Great. Okay, we've covered that. So we have comments for the good of the order. Start.
Sure. I do have a couple things. Superintendent Wilson and Ed and I have talked about, we received your request, and we've talked about this at other past board meetings about we have union representation, teacher union representation at all of our subcommittee meetings. We received a request to include our admins and 1579, well, 1579 didn't submit a request, but if we're gonna open it up, then we should include them as well. We did talk about having representation across the board, so we need to figure out how we wanna proceed with that. So maybe we could do that as, I don't know where that would fall, which subcommittee could we do it as a full board?
I think we can do that as a full board, and I think it'll be up to the admins to nominate people just
Who
as
they
the
would like.
TEA did.
That's it, so
Dr.
TEA made the
McCann-
selection
Right.
for who participated,
Right,
okay.
just accepted.
All right, so no one sees any, or foresees any issues or has any concerns about adding 2 more people to our subcommittee meetings?
Matter of
It would be the same.
If the teachers are there, the other group is.
Right.
Great to have that.
The participation, absolutely, yeah. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there, so if you do start seeing them, yes, Kevin? 1579
is aware as well, because they asked me at our last monthly meeting that I have with them.
Okay.
What the 4 subcommittees are. So
Excellent.
they are
All right,
aware
so they're
that
in
it
the
was out
process.
there, so I think they will appreciate.
All right,
you
so
reaching
maybe
out
it could
to
go
them.
from you to, back to them to provide who they would want representation from, and then we'll connect with the admin. Just if you have people in mind,
We got people who are interested. so-
All right, great, so we'll start that, good. All right, and then the other thing was, I asked Superintendent Wilson to start to include Mrs. Creedon's ELL program in our updates, but it won't be monthly, we talked about doing it quarterly. Because then monthly, I don't think your numbers, your stats change that much monthly, but quarterly, it'll give us, I shouldn't say that, I'm sure it does. But I think it's such a huge part of our population in district right now. I think it's important for everybody, especially in the community and our board, to know what's going on in the program. And you've done so many great things with it, I just wanna give it the attention it deserves. Thank you. And then I did see on the consent agenda that Mrs. LaVerse is retiring, and I know she's not here, but I did just want to acknowledge that. Along with everyone else retiring, but Robin and I have a history, and I'm sorry to see her go. She's been a great addition to our district for so many years. She went from, I can't even remember, owning a bagel store to deciding she wanted to be a teacher when she grew up. So she went back to school and she did it. So just congratulations to all of our retirees, but Mrs. LaVerse especially. And that's all I have. Sorry, go ahead.
Excellent, great meeting. I want to welcome Rachel back.
Yeah.
Congratulations on everything. I know we're proud, none of us have seen you for a while, but welcome back.
Thank you, appreciate it. The entertainment
Tonight,
and I would like to see more entertainment.
Mr. Scott, next month you're playing.
Ryan's a musician?
No, he's not.
Yes, thank you.
I would echo Ellen's comments of the music this evening. It was very entertaining, and I'm thrilled with the talent that we have in the school system.
Likewise, thank you.
Entertainment as long as it doesn't get us past 8:30.
All bets are off otherwise.
That's
right. Mine too.
That was great entertainment. The drumming was fantastic. I've seen them at Southwest before. It was really cool to see them out in public, so thanks for bringing them. And I also thought it was cool that our orchestra also just double dutied over to student representation. So thanks for everything everybody does.
Nice.
Have a good night.
Great job on the string quartet.
They were amazing, weren't they?
So moving.
Yeah, it was amazing. I have 0 musical talent, so that was really cool to see. Just a reminder to get out to St. Jude's on Sunday. A lot of the kids in the district will be there either performing or presenting something, and it's obviously a great cause.
At the high school.
Yes, at the high school. Here, sitting in the high school.
Great meeting and the students did great. That's excellent.
Good meeting, and just how much I appreciate we have Marissa who came on board, and she's helping out tremendously.
She's a rock star, isn't she?
Ditto. The entertainment was fantastic, and thank you to the board for supporting me increasing the diversity plan, because they worked really hard on thoughtful strategies, so thank you. But the entertainment was great, kids were all great.
Also, thank you.
Yeah, just ditto to the kids, they're so talented, they're so fortunate.
This was a great meeting, and as I've said numerous times, an integral part of the team. Obviously, your support is what makes wonderful things like our students performing tonight happen. And I'm glad to share that with everyone tonight, with the public. So, also, thanks for your support.
And I would just say thank you all for all of your hard work on the budget. As I will probably often repeat in this budget season, but I will say I had the opportunity. Currently, I'm still looking over another large school district's budget. I won't name names because I will tell you that it is terrible. It is poorly constructed, barely legible, and it's going to be a financial disaster for the city to which they are attached. So I'm forever thankful that our budget is not that way. And that's to all of your credit. And with that, I will, I think, hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's almost.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bill and Glenn.